Welcome! Let's jump right into a fascinating masterclass in early childhood education that's actually wrapped up in a wonderfully delightful story. We're exploring Pip's Great Global Sound Safari, a journey of discovery. Now, on the surface, this is just a tale about Pip, a cheerful little blue mouse with exceptionally large ears, going on a whim-filled adventure across whispering meadows. But when we look a bit closer, you'll see how this story cleverly hides foundational learning concepts. I mean, everything from literacy to math to emotional intelligence right inside the narrative. It's a brilliant example of how we can frame learning as a true adventure.
So, let's map out this educational safari. We're going to group Pip's incredible micro-lessons into 5 distinct thematic zones. First, the spark of curiosity. Second, math and logical thinking. Third, science and the physical world. Fourth, social and emotional growth. And finally, returning home to rest.
Let's kick things off with Zone 1, the spark of curiosity.
You know, the real catalyst for all learning is curiosity. Before any formal education happens, there just has to be a genuine desire to know more. In our story, this is beautifully illustrated by a mysterious whoosh, click-clack sound swirling in the morning breeze. Pip recognizes it as a secret waiting to be found, so he immediately packs his tiny backpack with his favorite magnifying glass and 3 crunchy crackers. This curiosity leads him right into the magnificent alphabet orchard, where the physical environment perfectly merges with literacy. Picture this. The trees here literally grow giant, shiny wooden letters. When a sleepy letter A is found resting against the trunk, an apple falls from the branches with a thud. Pip doesn't just eat the apple, he uses the moment to sound out the spelling, A-P-P-L-E. It completely transforms the abstract concept of spelling into a tangible sensory experience. The environment itself literally becomes the classroom.
Moving right along to Zone 2, math and logical thinking. Over at Jiggle Creek, where the bubbly water goes bloop bloop blip, Pip encounters 5 bright red, bouncy jellybean frogs. And the story doesn't just show them sitting there. No, these frogs are actively practicing their jumping numbers. Hop, hop, splash. With every single jump, they make a musical note, teaching the audience that math isn't just numbers on a page. It's rhythmic, it's active, and it can happen absolutely anywhere, even in a splashy stream. Later in the day, Pip looks up at the twilight sky and spots clusters of twinkling stars. But instead of counting them one by one, 1, 2, 3, 4, he just looks and instantly guesses. 4. Then another group. 3. This introduces the concept of subitizing. If you're not familiar, subitizing is the ability to instantly recognize the number of objects in a small group without counting them individually. The story frames this not as a chore, but as a literal math superpower for your eyes. It's such an absolutely crucial stepping stone in building number sense.
But the math gets even more advanced. At the subtraction bridge over the Whispering River, Pip has to cross 5 wooden planks. As he steps onto the first one, a mischievous little fish pops up and playfully splashes a plank away. Pip giggles and notes, 5 minus 1 equals 4. It's brilliant because it turns a purely conceptual math operation into a tangible puzzle that Pip has to navigate.
Pip's mathematical journey continues on the trail home, where he spots a sequence on the forest floor. A round pine cone, then a long pointed acorn. Another round pine cone, another pointed acorn. By recognizing these alternating patterns, the story teaches children how to train their brains to predict what comes next. Understanding patterns is fundamentally the groundwork for algebra and complex problem solving later in life, and Pip uncovers it just by paying close attention to the ground.
Rounding out the logical thinking zone is the concept of time. Pip discovers a wooden clock carved by the forest owls in an ancient grandfather tree. The shorthand is on the 3, the longhand is on the 12. Time for afternoon tea! Measuring time provides essential structure. It guides our day, moving us smoothly and predictably from morning playtime into afternoon discovery and finally down into evening rest.
Now, let's dive into Zone 3, science and the physical world.
Pip's safari is honestly a masterclass in early science. We see this right away when Pip looks up and observes shape-shifting clouds in the bright blue sky. A cloud stretches into a square, then the wind blows it into a long rectangle, and finally, it poofs right into a smooth circle. It's basically geometry taught through meteorology. We see this magic in action deep in the forest too, where Pip finds the rainbow waterfall cascading into 3 crystal-clear pools of pure primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. By dipping one paw in the red pool, another in the yellow pool, and mixing them together in a wooden bucket, the water turns a vibrant orange. This sequence shows exactly how combining foundational elements creates entirely new outcomes. It's chemistry and art combined, like painting with liquid sunshine.
The physics lessons continue along the riverbank, where Pip explores weight and mass. He picks up a tiny pebble, no bigger than a blueberry, and notes it is as light as a floating feather. Then, he tries to lift a huge, mossy boulder that just won't budge an inch, heavy as a mountain. By comparing these riverstones, the story tangibly grounds the concepts of gravity and weight. It helps viewers really grasp how mass functions in the physical world around us through Pip's physical exertion.
Biological sciences make an appearance too, specifically through the observation of diversity in nature. Pip watches an animal parade led by Ellie, a massive, towering elephant with deep, booming footfalls. Right behind her zips Keto, a tiny, speedy little meerkat. Observing these vast differences in the animal kingdom really highlights the beauty of contrast. It teaches the audience that big and small, tall and short, all have a special, necessary place in the ecosystem.
This brings us to Zone 4, social and emotional growth. The story also directly addresses vital interpersonal skills, like stranger safety. When Pip encounters a friendly-looking raccoon wearing a shiny silver top hat, who tries to lure him down a dark cave to find hidden treasure, the story doesn't shy away from the danger. Instead, it empowers the learner with exact golden rules. Take a big step back. Say a loud, clear no. Run straight back to a trusted friend or grown-up. Pip executes this perfectly, reminding viewers that being smart and safe is the best kind of adventure.
Then there is the huge challenge of emotional regulation, particularly patience. In the patience garden, Pip watches a tiny green sprout trying to push through the soil. When it doesn't grow fast enough, Pip gets visibly frustrated, but a gentle breeze delivers a profound reminder. Great things take time, little mouse. A seed cannot rush into a giant oak tree overnight. It's such a beautiful, grounding metaphor for young learners who are so often frustrated by their own learning curves.
Using a colorful wooden emotion wheel carved with facial expressions, the story anchors a massive takeaway: emotional validation. Sometimes we feel happy and sunny, like a clear morning sky. Other times, we feel tired or grumpy, like a rainy afternoon. By comparing our internal feelings to weather patterns, it perfectly normalizes emotional shifts. The lesson here is that all feelings are valid, and openly communicating whether we feel sunny or rainy helps keep our hearts peaceful.
Finally, we arrive at Zone 5, returning home to rest.
Pip's day continues with lessons in personal hygiene, like washing his paws at the Healthy Habit honey tree with a wise old owl, and practicing honesty by returning a lost, shimmering peacock feather to Bramble the fox. But eventually, the sun begins to set. A crucial part of winding down is the practice of gratitude. Sitting on a mossy rock under a glorious pink and purple sunset, Pip reviews his day's lessons. He reflects on the counting, the color mixing, the safety rules, and sharing a picnic with his friends Ellie and Keto. Showing gratitude and taking the time to quietly whisper a thank you for a wonderful day of learning fills the heart with warmth. It mentally organizes the day's experiences and perfectly prepares the mind for sweet, peaceful dreams.
As Pip safely tucks his tail around himself and curls up in his cozy little burrow beneath the starlight, we're left with one final, exciting thought. What will your very own dream of discovery be tomorrow? It brilliantly turns the lens back to you and the little learners watching. It ensures that the end of Pip's safari isn't an ending at all, but an open invitation to wake up the next day, pack your own imaginary magnifying glass, and start a brand new journey of discovery. Thanks so much for exploring these wonderful foundational concepts with me today.